Guys, today, as we close off with Conor McGregor's great mind, he shares with us his advice that we should all train in martial arts. And for this to apply it to our lives, I think we have to remember that martial arts, the biggest part of martial arts, is the part of the power of our minds and how we can apply this to live a full, complete, peaceful, and happy life. Now, the physical part of martial arts is definitely beneficial. And we have to fight the negative sort of stigma or connotation associated with the fighting in the physical sense. It's the discipline aspect that Conor McGregor reminds us of, that sort of dedication that martial arts brings out, that commitment, and the empowerment, the confidence that you get in being in it. And so let's apply the greatest fight, the greatest martial art in control, and that is controlling our mind today and every day. Have a great morning, everyone. Guys, today, as we close
Also, on your way to wealth, you got to be willing to walk alone sometimes.
Amen.
You got to be willing.
That,
you got to be willing to walk alone sometimes, because everyone doesn't fit on your journey at every part of your journey. And there's parts of your vision that no one else will get. And when no one else gets your vision, remind yourself, no one else gets your vision because God didn't give your vision to them. God gave your vision to you. And that's all you got to know. And it's your job to be the midwife, the birthing agent. It's your wife. It's your job to be the nursing station. It's your job to be the doctor, the delivery doctor, to bring that vision out so the world can see it. That's your job. No one has to see it or get it while it's here, while it's here. It's your job to birth it. It's your job to give it arms. It's your job to give it oxygen. And it's your job to be patient enough to know that it won't happen overnight. Just like a child. When a baby is threatening to be born in 5 months, the doctor says, hold on, bed rest. The lungs aren't developed. Hold on, bed rest. The heart isn't strong enough. Hold on, bed rest. The muscles aren't. Same thing about your dream. So when you get impatient about your dream, it's only because you're comparing your dream and your journey to somebody else's journey.
Yes.
It's only because, and Benjamin Franklin says, comparison is and will always be the thief of all your joy.
Wow.
So don't look left. Don't look left. Don't look right. Just look straight ahead. People always say, Lisa, how'd you do it? I wasn't looking left and right. I wasn't keeping notes on what Tony was doing or what Jack was doing. I love them, but I'm busy. I'm busy building my dreams. I'll stop and have dinner with you. I'll stop and bump elbows with you, but I'm not going to compare my life, my joy, my success, and what's my divine right to yours. Nor am I going to minimize my light or my brightness for anyone as well. So the other thing in going to wealth is you got to let your entire light shine.
The people you're surrounded by matters. Your environment right now, the people you hang out with, it's all been perfectly designed to keep you stuck, to keep you small, to keep you where you are, to keep your growth curve slow. You know, we have these negative voices in our heads, but somebody put those voices in your head. You telling yourself that you suck and you can't do it, that's not your voice. You know, when you're born, everything is possible. Think about it, even when you were a kid, your dreams, your goals, what you wanted to be, what you wanted to do. I remember I wanted to be a baseball player in the summer and then be a fireman or a police officer in the winter, in the off season. Those dreams. Now some of them might have been too we've outgrown them. You know, why do I want to be a police officer? Because I saw a police officer in the street or something. Some of them we outgrow, but a lot of times we just also not just outgrow the idea of it, but it gets knocked out of us. You know, that sense of hope and potential and what we can do and where we can go and what we can learn and who we can be, it gets knocked out of us. By our parents, by our teachers, by the people around us, by society, by school. It gets knocked out of us. And that is not good. You know, it sucks. Your environment has been perfectly designed to keep you stuck, to keep you safe, and to keep you small. But that is not your voice. That is not your voice. And so part of the work is finding your voice and being willing to go down the path that nobody else is going down. One of the reasons why entrepreneurship is so hard is that people feel like they're stuck. Have you felt stuck? Have you felt like you're the only one who's doing what you're doing? Do you feel like nobody understands you, nobody gets you, nobody supports you, nobody's here to tell you what you can do in a loving way forward? Nobody is as optimistic or as hopeful or as ambitious as you. And it's not that those people don't exist, it's just not in your environment. And it's easy to stay being that big fish in a small pond, you know? It's easy to stay stuck being the person who's constantly pouring and loving and caring and giving into others. But at what point do you decide that you need more for yourself as well? Because when you can be around people who are doing bigger things, that push you, that make you see things that are possible in a whole new way, it just changes everything. When I got started as an entrepreneur, I had business partners, so that was really helpful. But apart from that, I isolated myself. I didn't see my friends. I had no money. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was alone, which made it really difficult for me to wake up every day and go do the thing that I wanted to do, and just took its toll on my self-worth and self-esteem. You know, that this isn't working. I poured so much energy and love and heart into, and it's just not working out. And one of the things that helped was getting a mentor. And over the years, I've had a bunch of mentors who've helped me with different things, and I've realized in that process that I'm not a dummy, that I'm not stupid, and that when I have somebody to guide me and help me, and when I'm around other people who are going through similar things, it helps lift me up. And you'll have moments where you'll have people who are way ahead of you, but it's not only the people who are way ahead of you. You know, just being around people who are happy. How many of the people around you are happy and optimistic and positive? Just being around people who are ambitious and going after their dream, just being around those people starts to change things. So let me share 2 examples. One, if we're looking at pointing up, learning from somebody who's done a lot more than us. I recently came back from Phoenix, Arizona. I was speaking at a couple events. In one of the groups, you had to pay $100,000 to be in. It's a pretty high-level group, pretty impressive people. And on the last day, I had coffee with one of the members at his home. And calling it a home is an understatement. It's like 4 homes in one home. It's a compound. And this guy had just sold his business for over $200 million. And hanging with him and seeing how he reacted to things and getting some feedback on my business, I came away not just with ideas on what to do, but just inspiration and motivation and excitement and energy. It's like, wow, this guy's just playing at a whole other level. And coming home, it's like, I'm on the airplane, I'm on fire, you know, let's get to work. Let's start building the empire. Let's start having a bigger impact and reaching even more people. But it's not every day that you can kind of go hang out with people who sold a business for $200 million, right? Like, oh, that's easy for you. You know, you met that person. What am I supposed to do? So you find peers. You find communities. You find clubs. And that's why I created Movement Makers, which is awesome. And every 2 weeks we meet and connect. And I'm helping thought leaders who are on the way up build their content, build their movement, get their message out to the world. And the biggest part of it is, I think, not being able to learn from me and hang out, but being able to be with other people who are doing something similar. That we do challenges where people are making content together and going live together. And the amount of times people have come in and have never gone live or are afraid to make their first video, and then somebody says, hey, I'll help do it with you. Let's go live together. It makes such a difference. Who's doing that for you? Who's taking your ideas and saying, hey, let's go do that together. I'll help you. And so joining some kind of community. And they don't have to be people who are way far ahead of you. You know, you may not be connecting with a $200 million entrepreneur, but just people who are on the same path, who are lifting others up, who are pouring into you, who are ambitious as well. Just being around them makes a huge difference. An entrepreneur I invested into, Alex, has been struggling with not having entrepreneur friends and connections and being the lonely entrepreneur. So I said, just go join some entrepreneur events, go to some entrepreneur meetups, and go to conferences that are happening in the city, and he just recently went to one and said, listen, your goal here is not to learn from the speakers. You won't be impressed by the speakers. You already know most of the content. Your goal is for the energy and connection. Your goal should be to talk to 25 people each day. There are 2 days, so go talk to 50 people. And then out of that, to be able to have a connection with a couple of people that you want to follow up with. And so, tomorrow he's going downtown to meet one of the entrepreneurs that he met at the event. That's much more powerful than learning, because he knows all the content. He consumes my content. He watches the videos. He's a learner. The point of going there is not to learn from the speakers. The point is to go and meet and connect with other people. And so join some kind of community for whatever the thing is that you're trying to do, so that you're willing to walk alone, but hopefully you don't have to. And then last but not least, I'd suggest just consuming content. It's what really helped me. It still helps me if I'm learning from Elon Musk or Oprah Winfrey or whoever it is, feature their videos. Sometimes if I wake up and the energy's not there, I'll go for a morning walk, which always helps. And then I'll feed my mind with the video from something on my own channel. I still make the videos for me because I want them and I need them every day as a reminder to think bigger, to play a bigger game, that what I'm doing is possible, that it can happen, that others have proved it, and that I just need to believe more. It is scary and hard to run your own race. And a lot of people will doubt you along the way and tell you that it's not possible, even if it's in a loving way, it's not possible, that you can't do it. And we often then lead to doubt in ourselves. And that voice comes in and says that we can't do it. And so the answer is to start to shift the environment, to start to eliminate the people who are creating those negative thoughts around us, to start to try to get some mentors to help teach and learn, to try to join a community of people who are just as ambitious as we are, trying to accomplish great things, and to be around the content of people who inspire us to want to go off and be amazing. You can do that. Your environment's been perfectly designed to keep you where you are, but you don't have to stay stuck where you are. Where you are at the end of the life doesn't have to be where you are right now. The difference is going to be how much you're changing up the environment and the people you're hanging out with.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Good afternoon, guys. How's it going today? Are you thinking like a martial artist? And I'm not just saying in the physical sense. If you are training in martial arts in the physical sense and you've enjoyed the benefits today, that's great. But what I'm referring to mostly is, are you thinking like a fighter who fights to control his or her mind each and every moment? How's that part going today? Are you living the martial arts way of living, which is being the best in everything we do, think, and say? So in every moment, even the simplest thing like brushing our teeth or sweeping a floor, we have to remember that the martial arts way of living is to do a simple task to the best of your ability and then enjoy the compounding effects of that in our life. So get back at it again. Believe that you can do it. Believe it. Never give up on thinking like a martial artist. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Words that we should use more of in our life are words that give us the right feeling we want to feel. So I'll give you an example. Instead of saying, now I work super hard, I do get tired, and I do get exhausted sometimes. I'm very aware of it and I'm cautious of it. And I realized that for a long time, I just kept repeating, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. And I'd say to my wife, and I still do it sometimes. So it's not that I'm perfect, but you're making me aware of it. And I started to realize that it didn't make me feel better by saying it. And actually what I was trying to do was get validation from someone else to be like, I know how hard you work and you're amazing. You're really doing it for a reaction.
Yes.
And then I started to realize I am tired, but why don't I just say, I'm gonna make some time to nap today. I need to find some time today to rest. I need to make sure that I get some time to myself today. Like when you flip it, not by just saying, oh, I feel amazing, because I don't feel amazing. Again, you don't want to lie to yourself, but you're trying to create words that help you actually get what you need. So when you think I'm tired, really what I need to be saying is, I need to get some more rest today. I better sleep early. And when you go, you know what, I think I'm gonna sleep early tonight, that's perfect, because now I'll sleep early and I'll get the rest and I won't be tired. It just creates this negative pattern of complaining and whining and creating that in ourselves.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business. Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level genius at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn how you can brainwash yourself for success. Enjoy. Rule number 2, manage your mind and emotions with Tony Robbins.
What do you think, having said that, what do you think is the greatest human skill? Not habit, but mindset and skill.
That's a great question. I don't know if I got what the greatest, there's so many. It depends on what you want out of your life, right?
Yeah.
But I think the ability to manage your own mind and emotions is probably one of the single most important. And maybe the second is the ability to influence others, because that's what makes you a leader. And hopefully you're doing that for a higher good, because there are all kinds of leaders, as you know. But I don't think most people are very good at emotional fitness. Most people are just not as happy as they could be. You know, I did one book, Money Master the Game, kind of like this.
Yes.
Only, and what I did in that case is I interviewed, 50 of the smartest financial people in the world,
Yes.
Ray Dalio, Carl Icahn, Warren Buffett. And out of 50 of them, and again, it's in my judgment, I could be completely wrong. And I've spent a lot of time with them. Some have become really good friends. There's probably 4 or 5 that are really happy people. You go, oh, well, money makes people unhappy. Money, it has nothing to do with money. Money makes you more of what you are. It just magnifies. If you're mean, you have more to be mean with. If you're kind, you have more to give, But I think that most people are they haven't learned to manage what's going inside. It doesn't matter how much abundance they have. They're still unhappy. We've all seen people great comedians that have killed themselves. Anthony Bourdain, beautiful man, traveled the world, killed himself, fashion designers that have done it. We've all seen all these different people, Kate Spade. And it's like, what? They had everything. Except they didn't master what's going on here and here. And this is why you lived your life the way you have as well. So I think that skill set is the most important one. That's why even in the book, the last 2 chapters, I think are the most important, because it's really about the power of the mind. Because everybody knows about placebos, right? They were only discovered in World War II. And it was discovered by accident. This doctor ran out of morphine, and he's treating these people that are badly injured. And, you need the morphine not just so they're out of pain, but so they don't go into shock. And the actual person who discovered this, who gets no credit, was the nurse, because the nurse handed him a syringe and said, we've got some more morphine. So he believed it. And he said, you'll be out of pain in just less than a minute. Wow. He injected them. And in every case, none of them went into shock. 90% of them were out of pain, and they used nothing. It was saline, right? So after World War II, he went back to Harvard, and he was the person that created what we now consider to be the double-blind studies, which are always compared to a placebo, right? And what most people don't know is the bigger the placebo intervention, the more powerful the mind believes it. So a small pill is less effective than a big pill. An injection is more powerful than a pill in terms of its effectiveness. The most powerful is a sham surgery. The Veterans Administration did a study, and they did on people doing knee surgeries, and they took 1/3 of the people and they just cut them open, anesthetized them, and sewed them back up, did nothing. A year later, this group, the group that had no surgery, had the least amount of pain, the most amount of flexibility, so they stopped funding those surgeries, to give you an idea. But that's how powerful it is. And so it's even more than Harvard did a study where they took barbiturates, made these big red pills, and said, this is an amphetamine, you need to prepare your body because you're going to speed up. They didn't give them something fake, they gave them an actual drug that slows the body down, and the body sped up. So most people don't understand the power of the mind. And so what I try to do is show people, even in this book, here are the things that you can do to take control of your mind. Because if you take care of your body and then you don't take care of your mind and emotions, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Absolutely. Yeah. What sparked that question was something you said. You said that you start your morning by jumping in the cold.
That's right.
And you never feel like doing it. And you said that I just say to my body, it's time to go.
That's right.
And that's what sparked the question, because I was like, that's a really interesting skill that
Yes.
you've trained yourself to be okay with discomfort.
Yes.
You're training yourself as your first skill of the day is,
Yes.
I am okay with uncomfortable things.
Yes.
And I know I can get through them.
Yes.
And that to me is what sounds like a really important part of emotional fitness.
It is, because unless you can push through discomfort, most things that are going to give you the greatest reward require discomfort initially.
Yeah.
Right? And the discomfort, it's like, my original teacher, Jim Rohn, used to always say, there's two pains in life, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Because discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And
Yeah,
so
well said.
I've trained myself to do that. And then I meditate. Then I always make an acknowledgement call briefly or leave a voicemail for someone just to spark the day. And then I do the first thing I do is always whatever's the most difficult.
Yes.
Because then you have momentum for your day. And when you train your brain to do what's difficult first, then emotional fitness just comes naturally. And more importantly, so does achievement, so does your ability to contribute to other people.
Rule number 3, have a positive attitude with Lewis Howes.
This is something I learned in sports early on, is to have a positive attitude when things go bad. Now, the world is filled with a lot of different negativity, drama, stress, and sometimes it's hard not to fall victim to joining in on the negativity. This is one of the reasons why my father growing up would not let us watch the news. He would not let us watch commercials that talked about a lot of harmful things or the news, because he didn't want us to be susceptible to hearing about things that maybe are happening in a micro level that are blown out of proportion, that seem like it's happening all over the world, but it's really only happening in a small level. He didn't want us to emphasize on all this negative energy and this negative attitude. So he eliminated those thoughts from our mind to support us in the positive. In sports as well, I would also have coaches that, things wouldn't always go our way. And I used to be so negative. I used to be so reactive. When I missed a shot, when I dropped a ball, when I messed up, when something that I did was wrong or was a mistake, I used to beat myself up so much. Or when we'd lose, I was such a sore loser. I'd such have a bad negative attitude. And our coaches over the years would really teach me, like, that isn't helping you. That isn't supporting you or your teammates around you. But having a positive attitude when things go wrong will lift your teammates up, will lift you up to help you improve for the next play in the next moment. It's really all about having that positive attitude, because the negative doesn't usually serve us for anything ever. There are times, absolutely, to speak up and be a stand for when bad things are happening to you or happening to other people or around you. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that specific moment in time. I'm talking about spending hours of your day thinking about yourself negatively and thinking about the world negatively around you, just ruminating on how negative everything is. That prevents you from showing up as the best version of yourself. And I believe you're robbing yourself and your loved ones and the world of your gifts and who you truly are when you sit in that negative state. So when I began to shift into having a positive attitude, it really helped me in every area of my life. And negative things or things that I don't like happen around me all the time. But it's a practice, even today. And when I'm hit with these adversities or these obstacles, I try to ask myself, how could it possibly serve me in the future? Or if it's worth putting so much energy into it around a negative attitude. Is it really worth it? Is it helping me in my health? Is it helping me in my joy and my love for others and my love for myself by holding on to this negative energy? It's usually not worth the energy. So why do we do it so frequently? There's this book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, because it's all small stuff. Obviously there's adversity and there's challenges, but when you can have the attitude around it, it really shifts your life and the people around you. So you've got to do the work to develop that awareness, to realize that for yourself. This isn't easy. This took me a long time. And having a positive attitude is, in my opinion, one of the most important things to manifesting, to attracting, to feeling better about yourself. But one thing that I've learned from the different guests and the experts on the show in the last few years is that what's most important is getting to the root of what's causing you the stress, the pain, the anxiety, the negative feelings that you're having. Because positive affirmations can only get you so far if you're not also doing the deep work on what's really going on, what's underneath the trigger, the anxiety, the fear. Dr. Caroline Leaf has been on the show a couple of times. I really love her message and her expertise. And she said, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound when you're just trying to have a positive affirmation without actually going to the root cause of what that trigger and negativity is. But if you're able to get to the roots of some of the things causing you so much pain and suffering, and the negative attitude that you have, and then begin working to stay positive and having an abundance mindset, that's when you can really start to create real change and start to see and notice the feelings of positivity, notice the feelings of happiness flood into your heart, into your body, into your soul.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 4 is develop an abundant mindset with Joe Dispenza.
How do we change?
Good evening, guys. How did it go today? Did you train as a martial artist, or did you have success in controlling your mind in that greatest fight that we all have, and that martial arts battle? Did you control your mind today and achieve successes in your life? I hope you did. If you didn't, we got another day tomorrow. We got forever to go. So we'll get back at it again. Now I want to share with you a personal story about martial arts for me. I've never trained in it. I've never taken it physically. I do aspire and want to do that one day. But I want to share a story of my daughters who, for a time, did train in martial arts. And I'm so grateful that they did. Even though it didn't last for them at that time, what it did was open my mind to the martial arts way of thinking and being. And I absolutely love it because I equate it to the power of the human mind. And so let's remember that as we go on the rest of our lives. Have a great evening, everyone.
People think I have knowledge. No, my head is empty. That's why to make look little substantial, I have a turban. It's totally empty always. But I have clarity. Clarity means what? You see things the way they are. Knowledge means what? You have fixed information about everything. If things have changed, you will not see it the way it is. It's as good as being blind. If people think owls are blind, it's not true. Their vision is far more sensitive than yours. But because of sunlight, they're blinded because it's too much. When light goes down, he sees very clearly. Not because he's blind, because his eyes are super sensitive. So, it's important that you bring clarity to your life, not knowledge, because knowledge is conclusions that you gather. Knowledge is okay when you're trying to do something physical, material in the world, but not with life.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 on Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Sadhguru, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
Is it true what you thought was absolute at the age of 12, today is not true? Yes or no? Are you sure that whatever you think is this is it right now, will be this is it in another 3 years' time?
Of course not.
You know that, so you know you're wrong. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you know anyway you're wrong, so why assert the wrong things? Well, right now we are wrong, at least let's manage with little more conscious. If you know you're wrong, you will walk carefully, isn't it? Hello? But you think you're absolutely correct, then you will do stupid things and you blunder around the world. If you know you're not seeing properly, will you walk carefully or no? If I ask you to walk through a dark room, suppose we turn off all the lights and close it down, everything, pitch dark, if I ask you to walk, suddenly will you become super alert and conscious as to how you walk? But when the lights are on, you're just going unconsciously, bumping into everybody. So if you learn to walk every moment, like there are no lights and you're looking at everything absolutely carefully, then what you see clearly, you go through it, what you don't see clearly, you hesitate, some places you take a little bit of chance. But if you are just confident, you will blunder through life, we don't know where you will get in and what you will get trapped into. Most people are trapped into their professions, their family situations, their social situations in such a way, they all became like this. Yes, already I'm seeing, not just older people, youth have become like this. What will happen to me at the end of my life? What will happen to me at the end of my life? I already revealed the secret, you will die. But Sadhguru, if this happens, what to do? If that happens, what to do? All those things will happen. It's not that everything will happen in your life the way you like it, things will happen in the way you don't like it. It once happened, Shankaran Pillai got fired from his job simply because he asked a question, smoking or non-smoking? How can you get fired for asking such a simple question? Smoking or non-smoking, he asked, and he got fired. Because what he was supposed to ask was cremation or burial. So, many times what you do, thinking I'm right, may be irrelevant to the situation in which you exist. So the most important aspect of your life is you're relevant, not right. You're just relevant. To the existing situation, you're relevant. I am right, I am right, I am right. This is confidence. You being right, nobody cares. All the idiots who think they're right, nobody wants to listen to them, nobody wants to be around them, isn't it? People who always think, I'm right, you want to be around them? No, the important thing is you're relevant to the situation in which you exist. If you have to bring relevance into your life, you must extinguish your confidence and bring clarity.
Rule number 2, be a full-fledged human.
You should not be a motivated person. Generally, when we say somebody is motivated, it means they have an agenda of their own. Life has no agenda. It's for you to be a full-fledged life. A grasshopper is trying to be a full-fledged grasshopper, earthworm is trying to be a full-fledged earthworm, a bird is trying to be a full-fledged bird, a tree is trying to be a full-fledged tree. A human being should strive to become a full-fledged human being. This is all our business is. But each one of us start creating our own agendas and doing all kinds of things. No, you're just a piece of life, don't take yourself too seriously. Because before you and me, countless number of people have come and gone. Yes or no? Where are they? All those people. You think they were all idiots? They were all idiots and they died, is it? No, they were also like you, maybe they were also officers, maybe they were kings more than you, all kinds of things, all topsoil now. This will also become topsoil. Just a little bit of time. Life is a bit of a sparkle. How old is your son, sir? 25. So 27 years ago, where was he, sir? So if somebody is not here, we say they're dead, isn't it? 27 years ago, he was dead. We will give him 100 years, sir. 80 years later, he will be again dead. Yes or no? Yes. So, 27 years ago, how long was he dead, sir? Huh? Long time. So 85 years later or 80 years later, how long will he be dead, sir? Very long time. So all of us will be dead for a very long time. We're alive just for a brief amount of time. Yes, very brief amount of time. We will be dead for a very long time. I want you to look at it in this perspective. How long will you be dead? You can't imagine. So let us say 10,000 years we are dead, or 100,000 years we are dead, or 1,000,000 years we are dead, all right? How long are you alive compared to that? Very, very brief. What you call as life is a brief sparkle. The only thing that you have to do is rise and sparkle as a full-fledged life. When something is needed around us, we will do that naturally, because when you're doing wonderfully well, you will do what is needed, isn't it? When you're miserable, you will be motivated. Yes? Tell me, when you're very happy, have you looked at yourself? How nice and wonderful you are, you're willing to do anything for anybody, bend backwards if necessary, yes or no? When you're little frustrated, whoa, how difficult it is. So don't teach your children to become motivated about something. These are all nonsense that's coming from the West, all those trashy self-help books. Motivate yourself, build confidence, believe in yourself. You believed in God and destroyed so much of this world. Now you believe in yourself, what will you do?
Rule number 3, learn to be alone.
When Gautama, the Buddha, was asked, is it better to walk alone or in company? He said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. Well, that's him, not me. He was quite sure that only a fool will walk with you. So he said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. Certain law in this country says, when you want to do a short and quick journey, walk alone. When you want to do a long journey, walk in company. But the important thing is, who is walking with you? Not always being together is a good thing. Many times, being together can be a nuisance. So, first and foremost, unless you are a twin, even then, we come alone and we go alone. If one does not know how to be by himself or herself, then being together can be a lot of nuisance. We are referred to as human beings. Human beings means every other creature is what it is simply because of what it does. But a human being can simply be, which is a unique quality of the human being, that we can simply be. That we are not compulsive action, that's what it means. Our action is conscious and judicious. But generally, when people get together, generally, people are in compulsive action. It can be an association where there could be a purposeful action, or it can be a gang where there can be more purposeful action, or it can be a crowd which can be a compulsive action. So essentially, to be human means we have reached that point of evolution within ourselves that if we wish, we can simply sit here, just be. We can consider as to what action to take and what not to take. This is definitely individual. When individuals come together, we say, it's we in plural, but still it is individuals who have to come together. To be an individual means you are not further divisible. That means you're just one. People find different ways to divide themselves within themselves. In India, with 18,000 years of cultural history, we have invented various words to divide ourselves. It's very common for people to talk in terms of Atma, Paramatma, Ankara, this one and that one. But every culture has this in their own way. When things are going right, when good things are being done, if you ask people, they say, yes, I did it. When things don't go right, when things go wrong, then they will try to find somebody. If they don't find anybody, he's always there. When they are very wonderful, of course they take pride in being how wonderful they are. When they turn nasty, they say, it was my ego. Mr. Ego is always a fall guy. So individual means, but if I'm wonderful, it's me. If I'm nasty, it's me, all of you. Are you 24 hours wonderful? Hello? Are you 24 hours wonderful? No, sometimes wonderful, sometimes nasty, sometimes beautiful, sometimes ugly. It's okay. If we understand it is me who is capable of being absolutely wonderful, and it is me who is capable of being absolutely nasty another moment, then gradually the number of moments of nastiness will keep on receding. If I see what is wonderful is me, what is nasty is… In India we have many words, it's my karma, what can I do? Now, you must fix this. Being an individual is very important, that means you're not further divisible. If I'm wonderful, it's me, if I'm nasty, it's me. If I succeed, it's me, if I fail, it's me. You have to fix this.
Number 4, do what you want.